A lot of people think that I can't go fully solar here, and those are the lights that are where this cord comes from. Should I start? Do you want to start off?
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Living Off Grid with Jake and Nicole. Today's video we're going to talk about our top 10 things that we love about living in a yurt.
Honestly, Nicole and I have never lived in a yurt before, and we're loving it so far, and we want to share with you in just the last few months that we've been building the yurt and living in the yurt. We're new yurt dwellers, and we want to share with you our top 10 favorite parts about yurt life.
Number one would be less than 3 days to put it up.
Yeah, so it's really quick. Once we got the platform built, it literally took us about 3 days to complete, and this is Nicole and I as a couple with no prior experience. The platform was the hardest for us because we built it 4 feet up off the ground, 3 feet off the ground. But if you were to put the yurt on ground that was already level, it would take so fast.
Yeah.
So honestly, it was so satisfying to build the home that we're living in days.
Yeah.
So quick.
It was really nice.
Yeah, loved it.
All right, number two.
Number two is when you live in a yurt, you have the freedom to build the inside. So when you finally put the yurt up, it's a big open space. Ours is a 30-foot diameter, open like banquet room looking building.
So it's an open canvas. You can literally do whatever you want. You can have a bunch of beds, you can have no beds, you can have it just be a yoga studio, you can have it be a martial arts studio, you can have it be an art studio, you can have it be a home, which is what we're doing, you can have a loft, you can have 2 lofts, you can have no lofts, you can do whatever you want.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a loft for the bedroom, then downstairs a yoga qigong area, a kitchen, and an office, and then we're going to have a joint area that will take us to the washroom with compost toilet and shower.
Number 3 is the sacred geometry and the look of it and the dome. I mean, it's really comforting to be in here. The circle, and it's really beautiful. It's really refreshing and really peaceful, and I mean, it looks like a giant sun is just like raying over us. It's beautiful.
Yeah, when you hear that word sacred geometry, every night that Nicole and I are working out inside here, or we're sleeping or waking up, like I get to see this amazing dome light with rays of sun coming off of it, and it really is inspiring. It's like when you look up and you see a beautiful tree, or you look up in a forest and see all the trees, I get the same sensation seeing the dome and the rays, the rafters. It's sacred geometry. It's very appeasing to the eye, and I love it.
And the light that comes through just like illuminates all the beams, and it's just beautiful.
Before number 4, I gotta get a video of this because this cat Reishi is truly on the Reishi. I mean, this is the floppiest, cuddliest, cutest cat of all time. It's with the closed eyes.
Just loves to be cuddled.
Loves it.
Just like me. Okay, number 4.
Number 4 is living in a yurt and building a yurt is a very low environmental impact when compared to traditional housing.
Yes.
I mean, it does have a top cover, and it does have a side cover, and it does have insulation that's man-made. But when you compare this yurt, pound for pound, carbon footprint to carbon footprint, to a house of the same size, or to a traditional structure of the same size, the yurt has a very low environmental impact.
Which we love. Which
we love because our goal is to live off the grid, and we needed a place to live initially. Coming up, you're gonna see us build out of cob, out of rock, out of logs, and we can't do those things unless we have a base up location. So not only did the yurt enable us to have a home very quickly in a matter of days, but then it's a very low environmental impact structure, and we feel like if we are going to be alive and living somewhere, this structure, the yurt, enables us to not tread too heavily on the Earth's resources.
Number 5 is kind of weird, but this is our top 10 reasons why we love the yurt. So when you're inside the yurt, the sun shifts throughout the day and it beams through the dome. And I mean, when you stand in the spot of the sun where the sun is hitting, it's hot and it's warm. So we can tan in that spot.
Indoors.
You have to like follow it, but we like that we are able to tan inside, and then we have no tan lines, so.
So if Nicole and I are gonna have like a full-on nudist day, we can actually like be nude in the yurt, but still have an amazing sexy tan by rolling as the dome light shifts its beam across the floor. Kind of like in Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, where he finds the location of the Lost Ark by putting that crystal with the beam of light.
Yeah.
We have that effect with the dome.
Yeah. And I also make tea in there, like so if I'm doing like a sun-infused tea and I don't want to go outside, I could just follow the sun. It's It's really nice.
So indoor suntan, sun-infused tea inside, thanks to the amazing beam of light that the dome creates.
Yeah, it's very nice. Number 6.
This is the Chinese way of saying 6.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, this is
6.
not shaka bra. This is 6 in Chinese. So number 6, the yurt can be erected anywhere, and its shape makes it very safe, especially when it's attacked by wind. Okay, so I love how you see yurts in open grasslands, like in Mongolia. You see yurts in forests like us. You see yurts right on the ocean on cliffs. Yurts are versatile in the settings they can inhabit. I love that. Nicole and I literally showed up here at our 8 acres with the yurt, built it on site, but we could have built the yurt anywhere.
Yeah, they even have them in like Alaska, places where it's like constantly snowing and like everywhere.
They have them in Arizona where it's a desert.
Yeah.
And you think about the cone-like shape of the yurt, it's very difficult for the wind to grab onto that kind of shape. And I think that enables people traditionally, like Mongolians, to utilize yurts in wide open areas like grasslands because the wind won't just blow them away. It kind of just maneuvers around them. And I think its shape, the yurt shape, is a genius design.
Very nice. Very nice. Number 7. The yurt forces you to be a minimalist.
Yeah.
It's like a tiny home. You can't become a pack rat. You can't accumulate a lot of stuff because it's not a very big area, which is really nice. So low impact on the earth.
Forcing you to be organized.
Forcing you to be organized.
It would be beautiful to live in like a chateau or a castle or like an 8-bedroom house, but that also might force you to acquire too many things and have messy places. The yurt, for us, is one of the keys keeping us organized, keeping us minimalists, and just living mindful.
Yeah.
We have to be mindful of what furniture we have, of what things we're gonna bring in here because we don't want to become claustrophobic. And
yeah, like you can't put too much stuff in here, it's just too much.
we've only been living here for a month or two, so keep tabs on us with our YouTube channel here by subscribing, and you'll see how we organize the yurt, how we build the inside out, and what we are doing to make sure we can have a glorious life, but also a minimalist life coming up.
Yep. Number 8.
Number 8, the yurt is a low-cost structure, and it does not cost as much as a traditional home. So it'll enable you to save money and instead apply that savings toward becoming debt-free or apply that savings toward a better property. It frees you up financially because of its low cost.
Like we don't have a mortgage. We don't have to pay rent.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome.
So there is a cost of the yurt, but there's different sizes depending on what price point that you come in on. And once you purchase the yurt, now you can either go get some land or you can maybe hook up a connection with somebody who's got some land and has an extra spot on that land for you. But the low cost nature of the structure enables you to escape the rat race and be financially free.
Yeah. And do what you love to do.
For sure.
Number 9. Almost to the jazz hands. Connecting yurts and creating yurt compounds. So what's really nice about yurts is you can connect them together to create a bigger yurt or expand, or if you're having a family and you want to have a bedroom or whatnot, or you can create like a yurt community. And like we want to get another yurt and we want that to be like the woofing quarters or the guest quarters to have people come and work on the farm, or even just guests, family, friends, etc. So it's really nice. And they're, like we said, number 2 or number 1, it takes like 3 or 4 days to put up. It's like super fast, or even like if it wasn't so big, like we got a smaller one, it'd probably just take a day.
So Pacific Yurts, the company that designed our yurt, you can go to their Instagram and you'll see how Pacific Yurts has their yurts in many different settings. Sometimes they have yurts as part of a compound in a network. I've even seen yurts done where they end up putting a 2-story yurt in the future. You know,
Really?
I've seen that.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, and you can also connect yurts together through, you know, like an extra door or whatever you're only limited by your idea. So if you were gonna have a guest quarters yurt or like a family guest house yurt, it'd be easy to set up. You could have it be a smaller yurt, let's say, and it'd be really cool compound you'd be creating when your friends and family came out to like, do you guys want to go in the green yurt or the blue yurt or the red yurt? Or,
yeah, and it's fun. Like they want to stay in the yurts because they're really fun to stay in. Like when people are like, oh, you live in a yurt? Like what is that? Or like, oh, you live in a tent? Like it's just really, it's incredible.
Do you feel like we're living in a tent, or it's tent-like, but do you really feel like whenever I'm camping or I'm hiking and I'm in a tent, I feel limited by the tent? Do you feel like this is a tent, or?
Yes and no. That actually leads into number 10, which we'll say here in a second. But I do feel like I'm in a tent I do and I don't. Like, obviously I don't feel claustrophobic because the tent is very small and it's not very big.
It's incredibly spacious in here.
It's very spacious. Like, I can dance around, I could do yoga, we could do lessons, we have kittens. And
I mean, the dome is 15 feet up.
yeah, and we were gonna put a loft in. So yes and no. But that leads us into number 10. So number 10, my favorite, is you really feel one nature when you're living in a yurt. Like, when it rains, you hear the rain. Like, and when you're in a cabin, like, you hear it and it's like, oh, it's raining, oh, cool. But in here, like, I don't know, like, it could be trickling outside, but it really feels like it's like raining hardcore in here, and it's beautiful. Like, we both love the rain, so it's really nice. And you hear everything. You hear the birds, you hear things buzzing by, like
if we hear a person walking, even if it's acres away on the road, we hear their steps. If we hear a vehicle like way in the distance, if we hear a deer calling at night.
Yeah. Like,
we hear everything. Like we're outside, but we're not outside.
Yeah. So it's really, you are really one with nature here. You hear the wind blowing, you hear the tree swaying. It's beautiful. It's music that you hear outside.
So you like this? Here. You like this fact?
I love it. I think it's really great.
It's sad when you go to the city and people are listening to nature sounds to sleep, and they should just live in a yurt.
Seriously.
Because you would have free 100% 24/7
you hear the frogs.
nature sounds.
You hear everything. Like, we wake up to the birds in the morning, and the wind breathes against the yurt, and the rain, and like, it'll be like raining, and we stop and look at each other, like, oh, it's raining. I mean, take a minute to like take it in.
3 acres away last night, I heard a couple of bears mating out in the forest, and I heard the whole entire act.
What?
I'm just kidding.
That's so weird.
Hey everybody, it's Jake Mace, Jake Off Grid. I've always thought of YouTube as like a video journal. I've never been much into journaling, writing, but I've made close to over 2,000 videos of my life here on YouTube for the martial arts, for fitness, for gardening, and now for off-grid living and for traveling. So I want you guys to check out the yurt that we build. You guys have seen us build here at the Jake and Nicole video blog, but also at Jake Mace Off Grid, at Off Grid Athlete. And then look above the yurt and look at all these trees. There are dozens of different varieties of trees. Hemlock and cedar and Douglas fir and alder trees. Lots of different kinds of conifers, and they're shading out the sun. They're probably about 50 years old. They're very tall, very healthy, very straight, but the sun right now is about 3 o'clock and it's over there, and I'm being shaded out. I do get a lot of sun, about 6-7 hours of sun in this spot right here. So we have chosen so far, Nicole and I, to gather pretty much 95% of our power that we use from the sun, even though we're here on Vancouver Island. So I want to spin you guys around and show you guys the rudimentary system that I'm using and talk about how we get power off the grid and what I'm doing. Okay, first off, for years now, I have gone after information from my friends and family, anybody who has had any experience hooking up a solar power system, and I've been a sponge trying to absorb all of their experience and knowledge. Look at all these fruit trees here. These kiwi vines, roses, jujubes, cherries, all different fruit trees we're starting to build a network of here in anticipation of the garden coming up. Okay, look at the leaves. It blows my mind how nature functions, okay? These guys get so much of their energy from the sun, and the leaves are their solar panels. And we all know from school the word photosynthesis, and I love the idea of humans acting like plants and trees to get their power. So for me, looking at these 6 solar panels here, they're very sexy, and I think they're very good looking. Wind turbine energy is not really an option for Nicole and I at this time because we're in the middle of a forest and the wind is not able to get to us unless we were to put the wind turbine, the windmill, on a pole that was above the trees, which we can't go like 80 feet up in the air. So while we're in this dense forest, it's good because it protects us from wind gusts, but it also limits us with the wind energy we otherwise could use. So we're gonna go solar. A lot of people think that I can't go fully solar here in British Columbia in Canada because we don't get enough sun, and I'm going to disagree. So you guys might think I'm a fool, but keep watching the videos and experience and time will tell. What I want you guys to do is think about solar energy as a martial arts school. You guys know I do martial arts, and I rarely ever talk about my martial arts background here at the video blog, and I don't talk about it much on my Off-Grid Athlete channel. But solar power to me and a lot of things in life are like martial arts. You start as a white belt, and you have to start slow, okay? And other people who are black belts have to teach you stuff, and you have to kind of slowly build your skill as you build to yellow belt, blue belt, green belt, brown belt, black belt. So these panels are my white belt panels, okay? I really recommend you guys go out, if you have an interest in solar energy, and buy this set. This was from Harbor Freight, I believe. Nicole's dad gifted us these, and they've been a great tool to not only give us power, but also teach us about how solar energy works. So each panel is 25 watts. So together it's a 100-watt system, and we just hooked it up. It's really easy. All the 4 panels hooked together into this one wire, and then this wire has this wire. You hook these guys together, and then this plugs into a controller that then plugs into like a car battery, okay? A lead acid battery, they call it. Any kind of like boat battery or car battery. So what we do during the day is we take a battery and we plug this in to a controller that then plugs into the battery. And that is how we've been getting our battery charged during the day with these 25-watt panels. 4 of them equals 100 watts. And that's been enough for us to bring the battery inside at night and run 2 LED lights and a USB charger for charging our phones and charging our computers. Okay, this was white belt. So now we're gonna go back here to like a blue belt solar setup. And I'd recommend, if you guys are interested in solar, to get this little system. And this was from Renogy. This was something we got off Amazon. And each of these panels are 100 watts each. So they're more efficient panels. And we have a 200-watt system here, okay? 100 and 100. And I have these 2 guys hooked up with wires, and then they go into this controller right here. And you can see how the PV is flashing at that appropriate speed right now. That means I successfully have energy going from the sun into these panels, into this controller. And if you guys come around back here, it then goes into this battery. So everything is going from these panels into that charge controller and then into this battery. That's it, okay? It's a very simple system. So sun, panels, controller, battery. This was sold as a kit on Amazon. The Renogy company did this. It's really great. So 200 watts are charging up our battery every day now. So we're gonna take those 4 panels and use them coming up for a electrified fence that we're gonna put around our new kittens and our garden to keep bears and cougars out of our garden and out of the cat atrium. So that way there's an electric fence charged by a car battery, charged by those panels. A neighbor with acreage down the way is already doing this, and his system with 1 battery and a simple solar panel has lasted him for over 5 to 7 years. Pretty amazing. So this is me having fun with solar, learning how solar works. And it's also at the same time successfully giving Nicole 2 LED lights worth of energy and charging up our phones and our computers. And it's actually charging up our camera batteries as well. Okay, I wanna make this video for pretty much 2 reasons. 1, to teach and inspire you guys by our example. So I'm using 2 different solar systems that were sold as a kit, that if you have an interest in solar and you're not knowledgeable about solar, this will teach you through the School of Hard Knocks how to do a solar system. And even if you're in an apartment, you can get these and try it out on your patio. That's really fun. It's really fun to charge up your phones and lights with the sun for free. It's really fun. These trees have been doing it their whole life, okay? But we have the option here of going with a hydroelectricity company that pretty much provides electricity to all the people of British Columbia, pretty much. They have power poles that come in down our old road. We met some of the good guys from the hydroelectric power company who told us, you're the first ones ever to live in this area. We don't even have power going to those poles. We put the poles in, but there's no electricity going to them. There's no transformer on the poles. And I said, okay. So when I contacted the hydroelectric company to ask them, what do we have to do for permits and what do we have to do for money to get a transformer put on the last pole that then would run to a circuit breaker box or a meter on our property and then run to our yurt? And they said, well, we had to put a transformer on it. It's gonna be about $5,000. And I talked to a lot of the different neighbors that have acreages around the way, and they all seemed that was a appropriate price. That seemed realistic. So nighttime comes and I'm sitting back and I'm thinking, $5,000 to put a transformer on the pole. That is before I have to put in a meter and I have to build a shed for that meter and I have to run wiring from that meter to the yurt and all this other stuff. So we're looking at $6,000 to $7,000 to connect to the hydroelectric power company, and then we're gonna have a monthly bill forever. What is it gonna be? $200 a month on average to run electricity, because we're charging cameras and computers and phones and lighting, maybe some other things in the future. Water pump from our well, things like that. So my brain started working and saying $7,000, or I can put my money where my mouth is and see if we can get our energy off grid, okay? So I'm gonna take a fraction of that money and apply it toward a off-grid solar system using more professional batteries, more professional solar panels. We're gonna mount them on frames. We're gonna build a solar panel and battery backup shed so they can mount everything professionally and protect it from the elements. We're gonna also get a charge controller that is larger and more serious to handle the amount of power we're gonna be generating from the sun, and then get an inverter that will transform the electricity from sunlight electricity, DC, into usable electricity, AC, that we'll use to power a fridge, a freezer, lights, and powering our electronics and our well pump. So I'm making this video to inspire and show you guys, but also as a video journal, so that Jake Mace in a year, 2 years, and 10 years from now can look back and see a much younger Jake Mace talk about the origins of his and Nicole's electric system that they're going to be creating themselves off the grid from the sun. I'm super excited. Put all of your questions and all of your experiences down below in the comments, and we will see coming up with future videos, can Jake and Nicole generate all the electricity they need for fridge, freezer, electronics, lights, and well pump using solar energy. I just wanted to tell you guys what we're doing and shed some light onto our electricity adventure that we're going on here at Blackfish Hollow. Okay, a little bonus, we're back inside the yurt. First off, everyone's asking me where this yurt comes from. It's got a really cool native British Columbian West Coast Vancouver Island vibe here on the side, showing the flora of the area. And in the back is the fauna. We got the cool eagle. And this comes from Pina Styles. We're gonna put a link down below where you guys can go join their Instagram and order stuff. This guy is 100% cotton, right? All natural materials, and love supporting these local companies. This is my favorite shirt right now, by far. Pina Styles, check them out. So 3 things before this video ends. This guy, this anchor, this is a amazing thing you should also get. This is like yellow belt maybe, okay? Maybe it's like clear belt. This is like before white belt. This is a solar panel you can take with you while you're hiking. So I use this all the time. If you guys go back and watch the video of Nicole and I swimming at the lake, we had this out charging our phones and our cameras while we were swimming in the lake. Off camera. So this guy's fantastic. It works so well. You just put it out in the sun, or you can drape it off your backpack while you're hiking so it can be charging. And then right in here, there's 2 USB ports where you can plug in your iPhone cord or your whatever cord and charge your gadgets right there. And one of the cameras we have is like a GoPro, and one camera is an Osmo Pocket, and they charge with these USB cords too. So we can charge all that stuff with this panel, and this works so well. This charges stuff so fast. It's really amazing. So I would definitely get this Anchor solar panel system. This is the inverter that allows us to take the car battery at night, put it in here, and I cut this piece of wood from one of our fallen trees, so the battery just sits on top of this right here. We clip these alligator clips onto the car battery like you would when you jump a car. Positive, negative, you know what I'm saying? And then this just turns on, and we plug in our computer and our camera batteries and our phone to this inverter. This is real simple, and it can handle that at the same time. We have a computer, we have a camera battery, and we have a phone plugged in all at the same time, charging from this car battery. And then we drain it a little bit, not too much, and then put it back out in the solar panels the next day. This is fantastic. This is from Harbor Freight as well. And this is the charge controller that we use at night for the lights. So we just take these wires, plug them in right there, and then right here, this is DC output. DC means energy from the sun. And if you guys look above me, you'll see those 2 LED lights up there above all the herbs and spices. And those are the lights that are where this cord comes from. We just plug this into there, and the lights turn on at night for us, and we've never run the battery down too much. And every day, the 6 hours or so of sun we get on those panels charge the battery more than enough to power our computers, our phones, and those lights above us, and our camera batteries. So get out there and get some of these little systems, because it'll wet your whistle and give you the knowledge and some inspiration to understand how solar power works. And then slowly you can advance in belt rank and get up to the brown belt and the black belt solar energy systems. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys love our channel and our video blog, our video journal of our life, please subscribe. And the only way subscribing is worth it is if you hit the bell button, because that's how YouTube will notify you when a brand new video pops up. And the bell button is important for us because we release 100% of our videos as premieres. And so when you get that notification instantly and you watch right away, you get to ask us questions and interact with us live, because we always are breaking from our work and our off-grid life to go find a cell signal or to go find limited slow Wi-Fi so that we can basically just chat with you guys live as the video is premiering. Do you like that fact? Do you like chatting and doing the premiere?
Yes, I think it's so much fun to be able to interact with the fans, and we get to ask questions like, where are you guys watching from? How old are you guys? And like, we'll do something funny in the video and then we get to laugh about it, like, haha, we named our truck Chocolate Thunder, and then we get to talk about it. It's really nice. I think it's a really cool feature. Or we give like
secret behind the scenes knowledge of what happened to get those shots and stuff. And
it's really cool. I really enjoy it.
So I would really appreciate in this video is tell me, if you do live in a yurt, what are your favorite parts of living in a yurt? If you think you might want to live in a yurt someday, tell me why or why not you're into the hashtag yurt life. And if you have any experience, questions, or knowledge about solar, off-grid power from battery backups and solar systems, please put it down in the comments below. One thing I wanted to mention was a bonus, like the 11th thing, if this was a top 11, was the yurt connects you with history. There's thousands of years of human history of humans living in teepees, yurts, and movable, easy to build structures. And I feel when I'm in the yurt, like I am part of this ancient human tribe that wants to free themselves to live in nature and do it quickly, cheaply, and safely all at the same time. So seriously. History. I love the history of the yurt, and it really connects me with humans of ancient days. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We love all of you guys, and we will see you guys on Thursday. We try to put out videos every Monday and Thursday, so we will see you on Thursday. Bye. Oh, and our cat behind us, you see it just jump.
Okay, here we go into the forest.
Join us next time on LOG. Jake and I adventure off into the forest to gather the materials for our next project.